Hi, I'm Michelle the Irritable Vegan. I'm here to share my vegan low FODMAP story and hopefully take some of the BS out of IBS. So today is my first video of 2019, so I just wanted to say Happy Veganuary and Happy New Year. I'm not sure what the socially acceptable cut-off date is for wishing people a Happy New Year. Today is the 22nd of January and it's my first video back, so Happy New Year. So today's video is going to be a little bit of an honest health update, and I'm also going to squeeze in a recipe here. It's actually my husband's recipe for what we lovingly term 40-year rice, and I'll get into the explanation for that a little bit later. But basically it's the only thing I've wanted to eat over the last few weeks, so it's perfect for anybody having really bad flare-ups or anybody that's just really feeling like they need some kind of sustenance but really don't want to go heavy on flavours, ingredients, just want something really simple and neutral for their stomach. So I think if that applies to you, you're going to really enjoy it, so definitely stay tuned for that. But let's start off with a health update. So as you may have realised, this is my first video since before Christmas. Now I fully intended to take a break over Christmas and New Year, but I was expecting to get straight back here the first week of January with lots of fabulous Veganuary content and really hit the ground running in 2019. And obviously I'm here 3 weeks in and that didn't happen. So basically my husband and I have been really ill since Boxing Day. We've had a really bad bout of the flu. Everybody we know has got it. My auntie was hospitalised with it, seriously ill. My niece has been hospitalised with it. My sister has it. My brother-in-law has it. Everybody that we know has fallen foul to this really awful flu that's going round. So since Boxing Day, we've barely slept. We've not really wanted to eat, we've not really done anything. We spent the whole of our Christmas and New Year holidays holed up, curled up on the couch with no energy and no inclination to do anything. And here we are 3-4 weeks later and we're still not fully recovered. Over the last few days I've been kind of feeling like I was maybe getting a little bit back to normal. And then this morning I've woken up and I feel absolutely dreadful again. So it really is lingering, it's really not shifting. This seems to be the same experience that everybody's having. And to add to all of that, right in the middle of this, I had to end up taking a course of antibiotics because the infection that started off in my nose and sinuses actually spread into the cavities of my eyes, so I was in excruciating pain. The whole centre of my face swelled up and changed shape, and I got pockets of infection in the cavities all around my eyes. I basically looked like I was losing 12 rounds at Fight Club, and I felt absolutely shocking, so I needed antibiotics to clear that up. I tried everything I could on my own and it got to the stage where I couldn't handle it anymore, so I did have to take a course of antibiotics, which of course ravaged my stomach and set up a whole cycle then of IBS flare-ups, which I'm still actually experiencing a couple of weeks on. So all in all, the start to 2019 has not been great, and like I say, I've woken up again this morning and I feel like half of my symptoms have just resurfaced, and it just does not seem to be going. I don't know if I've got another infection on top of the original flu, but it just does not seem to be shifting. And I'm doing the absolute best I can in terms of nutrition, in terms of vitamins and minerals, and trying as much as possible to get as much as I can from the food I'm eating. But then I'm also struggling with severe bouts of diarrhoea. But then obviously, as most people with IBSD will know, that you get to a stage where the food that you do intake is moving through your body so quickly that you're not really absorbing anything from it. It's an absolute myth that you are what you eat. You are in fact what you absorb and what your body can assimilate. So ultimately, no matter how much goodness is going in, it really doesn't make a difference if it's coming straight through the other end, and no matter how much goodness you're actually trying to eat, your body just is not processing it, it's just not using it, it's not absorbing it, it just can't make use of it that quickly. So I've had so many days where I just didn't even feel like eating. I've been keeping my fluids up, lots of herbal teas, lots of healing herbs and spices, turmeric, ginger, lemon, cinnamon, cloves. I've really been keeping up to my hydration levels as best as possible and really trying to tackle things from that angle. But obviously when you feel like absolute crap, all I've been wanting to do is sleep. So obviously a lot of the time, if you're sleeping a lot of the time, then you're not awake to drink. So I'm really trying to get a handle on that. I've been doing lots and lots of self-care, including lymphatic drainage massage to the face, including aromatherapy facials, steam treatments, inhalation. I've got my candles going at the back there, the Himalayan rock salt candle holders, and some essential oils burning. So I'm really trying to tackle it from all areas, but there is literally only so much I can do, and it basically comes down to rest and hydration. Those are the two main things. So I really wanted this week to be the start of getting back into my videos, getting back onto a regular schedule on the channel. But as I say, from waking up today and realising that I seem to have taken 3 steps back, we'll just have to see how it goes. So now on to that recipe. So we call it my husband's 40-year rice, and the reason for that is my husband and I are both in our 40s, and this is one of the nicest, tastiest, easiest, most consistent recipes we've ever managed to cook, that comes up with tasty rice time and time again. It's so delicious that, as I say, I've literally just been eating this rice on its own some days because I felt that that was all I could stomach, but it is tasty enough to do that. And I've added a few little extras in just for people that don't want to eat it so plain, but the original recipe, I promise you, is going to be fantastic for seeing you through any kind of gut irritation and upset. There is a little bit of garlic oil in there, so if you're not able to tolerate that, then you will have to leave it out, but you will also lose some of the flavour. So I really hope you enjoy this recipe. I really hope that 2019 has been much kinder to you than it appears to have been for myself and for most of my friends and family who have been really struggling with one kind of illness or another. So I'm really sorry, as I say, for not being here for you all throughout January, for not kicking off the new year as I mean to go on. Hopefully I'm going to be able to continue up with the content over the next few weeks, but it does really depend on how I'm feeling. And obviously at the moment I'm not creating amazing meals that you're going to want to see. I'm eating very simply, and I'm not really, by the time I've finished cooking, I don't really then have the energy for the photography and the videography, and then to sit down for hours and hours to do the editing. These videos do take much longer than a lot of people may realise, and I just simply haven't had the energy or the inclination. So I'm really sorry that this has been a bit of a downer to the start of 2019. I really do hope to continue supporting you all through your vegan low FODMAP journey for the rest of the year, but please bear with me if the uploads and schedules are not what you would normally expect. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Enjoy the recipe. Bye. So to make one portion of 40-year rice, you'll need half a level cup of long grain rice. I personally prefer white rice because I digest it better. We use half a tablespoon of olive oil and half a tablespoon of garlic oil and heat that for about 30 seconds before adding the rice evenly across the base of the pot. Stir the oil into the rice so each grain is well coated and glistening. Add 1 cup of boiling water and a pinch of salt to the rice and reduce the heat to low. Stir once and cover with a lid. Simmer gently on the lowest heat for 15 minutes. Do not remove the lid or stir the rice again during this time. After 15 minutes, turn off the heat, replace the lid with a clean folded tea towel and remove the pot from the heat. Leave the rice undisturbed like this for 12 minutes before removing the tea towel and fluffing the rice lightly with a fork to separate the grains. It's delicious served as it is to soothe sore tummies. But for an extra gift to your gut, top it with homemade sauerkraut. Or, if you're feeling up to it, stir through some tomato and cucumber and top it with your favourite seeds. For a delicious variation, stir in the zest and juice of half a lemon before adding the salt and water and continuing to cook in the same way. I stirred a handful of fresh chopped parsley through right at the end to finish it off perfectly. And if you're fighting fit and feel ready for anything, then add 1/4 teaspoon of asafoetida, 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper and 1 tablespoon of tomato puree. If you find yourself in need of a comforting bowl of something easy on the tummy, I'd love to hear how this recipe worked for you in the comments below.